Hey everyone, Lisa Salvatore here with the Intuitive Astrology and Energy Report for March 6th through March 13th. We're going to break this down day by day, and I'll try to give you the most important things here, but as we know, there's always a lot going on, so let's just get right into it. Today that I'm recording this video, it is March 6th, and early this morning, both Venus and Mars have entered Aquarius, 0 degrees of Aquarius. And you may remember we've talked about this before, but Venus and Mars have been together for quite some time, and their alignment has been spectacular and in a lot of ways very uplifting in some capacity, but at the same time eye-opening, liberating, a mixed bag as always. It's brought up a lot to us about our own individual ways of relating to others in our life and also what we value, not just people, but just everything in general. And so anyway, I do a complete reading on that Venus and Mars alignment back from when that started in Capricorn and now in Aquarius, and what that means for you by sign, by your zodiac sign. So you can find that video on my YouTube channel, Mars and Venus. I've also linked it in this email if you're getting this by email, so you'll be able to find that there. Now, that's the first piece. And this alignment with Venus and Mars in Aquarius speaks to the future. Again, Aquarius is the sign of the future, and it's about communicating in a way that's set up about what we're going to set up for ourselves moving forward. And you may or may not know what that is, and that's perfectly okay. But the ability for the Aquarian energy to help us detach a little bit and be more objective and see it from a higher perspective is going to feel very enhanced right now. And that's a good thing, especially if you find that you're more of an emotional soul that has a difficult time making decisions. This energy is really good for being able to, like I said, to be objective about our communications, our connections, our projects, and looking at it in the way of, is this going to benefit me going forward? Or is there something here that I need to cut off? And that may become more and more obvious to you as these next couple of weeks progress. So that's the first piece with the Venus and Mars conjunction, 0 degrees of Aquarius, that kicked off early this morning, about between 2 and 3 a.m. Mars moved into Aquarius first, and Venus then moved into Aquarius not long thereafter. And again, 0 degrees is always a fresh slate, clean energy, and Aquarius, again, is the sign of the future. So that's the first piece. And then the moon will shift into the sign of Taurus. The moon loves to be in Taurus. And then when the moon moves into Taurus, it's actually going to square off, which is a frictional energy, to that Mars and Venus alignment in Aquarius. So again, we could feel like we're at odds with what we truly are wanting to do emotionally versus what is actually practical and for us to actually do. So there could be, you get this aha moment, big picture thinking, and then, oop, wait, that's not going to work for this reason. So just hang tight and allow it to unfold and reveal itself to you as the weeks and months progress. I want to share something that I often will say to my clients, which is, and I tell myself this too, because I really do try to practice what I preach here, right? But there's something to be said about in the moments and the spaces where you just don't know and you're feeling really stuck and confused, about stopping and acknowledging that you're stuck and confused. And just by simply saying that and allowing to feel that way and say, you know what, I surrender. I'm not feeling clear right now, or I'm not ready to do X, Y, Z. And that's okay. The more you try to force that upon yourself before you're ready, the results are not going to be right for you. And again, if you know yourself better than anyone, if this is something that you've always struggled with, then it's something to look into at a deeper level. But if it's a particular situation and you're just not ready, that's different. And you have to honor where you're at. So all that to be said, you don't have to have it all figured out right now. I don't think anyone ever really truly does. Just a little reminder in case you're feeling like you're floundering, like Pisces, because Pisces symbol, we're under Pisces season, Pisces symbol is the two fish swimming in different directions. And so we can feel like that under Pisces energy. We're underwater energy, and it can literally sometimes make us feel like we're underwater, okay? Like just drowning in the emotion of it all. Then on Thursday the 9th, Mercury, the planet of communication and of the mind, moves into sensitive Pisces, joining the Pisces party, because now the sun is in Pisces, Jupiter and Neptune are both in Pisces, getting closer and closer to an exact alignment, and now Mercury's joining the Pisces party. And so we've got this emotional, intuitive water energy, compassionate, empathetic on the highest vibration, in the highest vibration. And in the lower vibration, it can make us paranoid and very scattered and just, thinking things are great when they're not, or thinking things are terrible when they're not. So again, mixed bag of energy, but overall, this is a highly creative time. Pisces is the sign of the artist and the visionary. It's connected to the divine. It's all about openness and oneness, and about tapping into something that we just don't see, but we feel at a very deep level. So intuition can be very heightened under this energy. It's a great time for creative writing, any type of intuitive work, any type of artistry. Excellent time with this Pisces energy. Now, the only challenge here is that moon in Gemini is squaring off with Jupiter in Pisces. So the moon and Jupiter together speak to an abundance of something and doing things and creatively, but we also can tend to overstep and overdo it. So there's this energy of, things feel really great, but let's not go to the shadow of the Pisces and overdo it or think things are better and then overstep and make a mistake. So again, overall, it's really a highly creative week, but we want to just make sure that we're taking inventory every step of the way, and more importantly, recognizing where we might be being too sensitive, too emotional, because we are dealing with a lot of Pisces. We want to be mindful not to make a mountain out of a molehill this week. Speaking of which, on the 10th, the moon will square off with Neptune. The moon in Gemini will square off with Neptune in Pisces. And so on one hand, again, dreams are very enhanced. We can be feeling much more tapped in, much more tuned in, feeling things. But at the same time, when you're feeling too much, it can really mess up your own mojo, because it's like, things are coming at you energetically and you don't know if what you're feeling is yours and yours alone, or are you feeding off of the energy of others around you, the collective energy even. So this is where I say, try not to watch the TV, because you will pick up. We're all a lot more spongy under this energy. The moon is also trining Saturn. So great writing energy, like I said, great time for creative work. Not the best for facts and figures. Even adding to that emotional energy is that on the 11th, on Friday the 11th, the moon moves into sensitive Cancer. By itself, when the moon moves into Cancer, we do tend to notice a saturation of the emotional tone. People are more sleepy, more sensitive, more emotional, more defensive even, right? We're also dealing with the sun in Pisces and a lot of other planets in Pisces, a lot of Pisces energy. So this makes us very emotional. Now, if you are a water sign, which is Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, or you have any major points and placements under those signs, you're going to likely be feeling very sensitive, for better or worse, right? And in a lot of ways that can be wonderful. And then in a lot of other ways that can make us feel soggy, weepy, scattered, unprepared for anything, the slightest provocation and we go off, that's water energy. So again, when the moon is in Cancer, a lot more sensitive. Cancer's the crab. We can be a lot more crabby. And the moon will enter Cancer early Friday morning, like 3-something in the morning. It's going to trine Mercury. So again, there's a sweetness to this, which means, we can communicate in an effective, kind manner as long as we think it through and don't just allow our emotions to take us over, which is going to be hard with a Cancer moon and a Pisces, all this Pisces energy, but Mercury particularly in Pisces, because that's this alignment, moon in Cancer, Mercury in Pisces. Now, also, the moon's going to be square to Chiron. So this could bring up feelings of extra sensitivity around where we feel inadequate or where we feel like we've been victimized in some capacity. So try not to go too much into the victim role here. Try to pull back and use the Venus and Mars Aquarius energy to see the bigger picture and be a little more objective. And always ask yourself, and I've been guilty of this too, especially in my younger years, because I know I can be very, very sensitive. Because I have a water moon and I can be very, very sensitive, probably overly so when it's not intended to be that way. So I always make it a point to pull back and think about it and say, was that meant to be taken the way I took it, or am I just being overly emotional? This is the time, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all of Pisces season really, that it would be very wise to ask yourself that question, because on top of the current astrology, also collectively we're going through a lot, right? So everybody is much more sensitive. So it just is a little bit, it helps to be a little bit more mindful about the fact that everyone is emotional. Everybody is. But this is definitely going to bring up feelings of where we feel slighted or inadequate. So we just want to watch if that's coming from a space of conditioning, where we're just conditioned to feel this way because of X, Y, and Z, or if this is actually how it is. So it'd be wise to think that through. And then Saturday, I feel like could have the potential to be a really nice, sweet day energetically, because the moon meets up nicely with Uranus early in the morning by sextile, which brings in a nice creative energy and maybe some unexpected sweet surprises in the realm of our emotions. The moon also trines Jupiter, and the sun is in a nice trine to the moon between the Cancer and the Pisces energy here. So again, can still be very sensitive, but also there's a sweetness that pervades this day. And then we get to Sunday, and that moon in Cancer will line up sweetly with Neptune in Pisces by a trine aspect, which is very helpful and flows nicely. The sun in Pisces lines up with Neptune by conjunction early in the morning. You definitely want to be paying attention to your dreams. I've been saying this for the past 2 months, but more so around this week, because you're likely going to get a lot of insight through your dream space. Even when things seem like they don't make sense, when you go back and look at it, that's why I suggest keeping a dream journal. You'll likely go back and see a symbol or a metaphor that really makes a lot of sense and gives you some psychic insight. Then as we get to early afternoon and go on throughout the day on Sunday, the energy does pick up, can feel a lot faster because that moon will shift into Leo. And well, actually, first the moon is going to oppose Pluto, and then it shifts into Leo. And so again, there could be some sort of dramatics, there could be some sort of theatrics that come up in the realm of your emotional being, because that moon in Cancer is opposing Pluto in Capricorn before it shifts into the sign of Leo. And we know Leo can be the fireworks, the fanfare, the theatricals, the dramatic. So hey, there may be some kind of emotional showdown, creative showdown, but I'm going to err on the side of positivity here and hope that that's the way that it is. Positively, you can get some information on something you've been waiting for, and it comes through on this day on Sunday or over the weekend, and that can feel really great. Let's get a tarot card for the week ahead. Not feeling too negative about this week ahead. Hopefully I'm right. It feels more like it's going to be, energetically charged and emotional, and can feel very draining at times. And of course, again, you always want to look to your own chart to see what's what, but just take care of yourselves. That's the best that you can. That's the best that we can all do right now, right? All right, let's get a card for the week ahead. We got the Emperor. The Emperor is a card that's ruled by Aries. Aries rules the Emperor. And this speaks to, as a number 4, this is all about foundations, and this is all about structure and stability and being in control. So there is definitely an element of control to this week ahead, which is really nice. The Emperor does not falter. The Emperor rules the roost, and the Emperor says, this is just how it is. And we are getting ready to move into Aries season at the end of this month, and the Emperor, like I said, is the card that rules over Aries. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week ahead, and I hope that something in here helps you out as you move on throughout the week. Take really good care, guys. Bye.